Hey folks, Bob Mason here. Before I get started on the day, I thought of a couple of other things that I should have mentioned in my post yesterday about healthcare powers of attorney. I want to mention two things. First of all, something called a HIPAA release, and then a couple of other things I wanted to mention about a healthcare power of attorney, specifically what happens if you don't have one. And then I've got a little surprise for you at the end of this brief post. First of all, let's talk about a HIPAA release. What is a HIPAA release? Federal law restricts who can access your healthcare information. It's called PHI, protected healthcare information, as I recall. And the only people besides you who can access it are authorized agents. You have to be authorized. Federal law says your agent under a power of attorney can be your authorized agent. The problem is, under North Carolina law, you don't have an effective power of attorney until the docs say that you can no longer make or communicate your own healthcare information or process your own healthcare information. Until that time, your healthcare power of attorney is really nothing more than a pile of paper. So what if before you become completely incapacitated, you want someone else, perhaps a caregiver, to have access to your PHI, to be able to talk to the doctors and nurses and figure out what's going on? Enter the HIPAA release. Federal regulations carefully spell out what has to go into a HIPAA release, and I invented such a form to comply with that. It's a little one-page form, and at the end of this post, you'll see a link that you can go to download a blank HIPAA release. There's nothing really special about it other than the fact that I invented it. You can fill it out and you can use that. Now let's talk about a healthcare power of attorney again. What happens, though, if you don't have one? A lot of people say, I don't really need one, I'll let other people decide. Well, here's what happens if you don't have a valid healthcare power of attorney. North Carolina law says, first of all, your spouse gets to make the decisions. I guess that's okay most of the time. Second of all, if there's no spouse, then a majority of your parents and any of your children 18 years of age or older. Think about that. And what happens if there aren't any of those folks around? Then a majority of your siblings get a healthcare power of attorney. Everyone should have a healthcare power of attorney. And by the way, not just old folks, young folks too. Remember the case of Terry Shivo Schindler down in Florida? I think went all the way to the Supreme Court. Nancy Cruzan, Karen Ann Quinlan. What did all those people have in common? Other than the fact there were lots of expensive lawyers involved, they were all healthy young women. Or at least they got unhealthy because of an accident or a drug overdose or something like that. But they didn't know that was going to happen to them. Everyone should have a healthcare power of attorney. And guess what? At the end of this post, go to that link and you can download one. No charge. And have a good day.